Now, the reason why Brez Scales blew up so quickly is because he used the exact same marketing strategy that people try to replicate from people like Iman Ghazi or Andrew Tate, but they simply don't manage, although they have way more resources and way more money than Brez Scales does. Listen, if you're looking for a Brez Scales exposing video, this isn't it, and I beg you to click off this video. But if you want to learn how to make a fuck ton of money, whether it's 10, 100k, or $1 million a month, this is it. I want to break down every single detail, from why he blew up so quickly and whether you can do the same in your position, why so many people trust and buy from Brez Scales despite the huge trust recession that we're in right now, and eventually his YouTube event strategy that he calls the only decision. Now, the reason why I actually know what I'm talking about is because I have scaled an info business to more than 7 figures a year, which placed me and my business partner on #1 on the school leaderboards just a few months ago. So the first question is, how did Brez actually blow up so quickly? He replicated the exact same strategy that everybody else tries to copy, but he didn't throw money out the window, but he actually became absolutely magnetic. I want to show you something which I call the free bucket system. You see, every single person nowadays who is creating content fits into one of these 3 buckets. The wannabe Iman Ghazis, the wannabe Andrew Tates, and the wannabe Alex Ramozis. Now, the problem is that when you talk like Andrew Tate, you actually capitalize on a market that has been well fed before, and you only get the crumbs that Andrew Tate or Alex Ramosi or Iman Ghazi left over. To put it into perspective, people wanted Andrew Tate because he was this anti-woke, hyper-masculine man. Then Andrew Tate met that demand, which is why the world doesn't need another Andrew Tate. So 99% of people are only fighting for the crumbs that one of these 3 guys left over. And as you see here, it just shows that all of these demands have been met. Iman Ghazi met the demand for old money, and he met the demand for hyper-masculine, and Alex Ramosi met the demand for a millionaire who literally gives everything away that he has completely free of charge. Now, Brez Scales, on the other hand, learned how to build his own bucket, which is why nowadays he blows up so quickly, because he is trying to meet a demand that hasn't been met before, whereas others are trying to meet a demand that has been met before. We don't need another Andrew Tate, but we may need a Brez Scales, a new money kid from the USA, speaking brain rot slang, doing stupid shit, giving 0 fucks about the consequences of taking risks at a young age, and quite literally just not trying so hard to be an authority like everybody else does nowadays. He is basically the exact opposite of Iman Ghazi's old money brand. The exact brand that everybody is trying to copy. So you can't be more unique than Brez is being right now. So the market is so tired of everybody trying to copy Iman Ghazi's old money style that they wanted the exact opposite, new money. And once he was able to build something that was so unique and so unique to his own, just a bucket that he built on his own, just like Daniel Dalen built his own buckets, he basically put everything into vlogs and then clipped it up with commission-based clippers who would get $2 per 1,000 views. He basically has more than 42, even more, that's German, but he has more than 43,000 members basically clipping his vlogs up into clips that they upload on Instagram. And then these clipping accounts get $2,000 per 1,000,000 views, and those clips lead back to the YouTube and to the main Instagram account. Now, the thing is that because he has built this brand that is completely in demand and that hasn't been met before, completely unique, and that is people just want to see this stuff. Every clip has a 10x leverage in views because his brand is basically an unmet brand that hasn't been met before. If you didn't have that, it wouldn't have a huge effect as Brez Scales. A lot of people try to copy the Iman Ghazi or Andrew Tate style and just think, if I pump a fuck ton of money into this and I let people clip my clips, I'm gonna go viral just like them. But if you don't have a main account that has clips going viral over and over and over and over again, and vlogs going viral over and over and over again, the clipping does little to no results. So before trying to create this huge fucking brand and pump everything into clips, you first need to become a magnetic personality like Brez Scales. Now the question is, can you do this on your own? Of course, there are some factors that you need to fulfill, and a lot of people think that as soon as you pump money into this shit, you're just gonna blow up just like them, because you just need to show the cars, and people think that all people just sign up to Iman Ghazi's program because he has money and because he's selling the lifestyle. And yeah, that's true to a part, but on the other hand, he's also selling his own personality. You must understand that a lot of people do the exact same thing that Brez Scales does. A lot of people buy from Brez Scales because of his lifestyle, but but also because of his personality. You cannot step out there and think, okay, I'm just gonna spend a fuck ton of money and show a huge lifestyle. I see so many people in Bali or in Thailand trying to fake these lifestyles, paying for some villas, whereas it's literally like $50 a day or $60 a night, and they get no results. And they get no results and nobody buys from them. Because what you must understand is whenever you try to compete on this money lifestyle, you actually compete with Iman Ghazi, who just has way more resources and way more money. So you need to have something else that differentiates you from those people, your own unique bucket, your own unique personality. And that is what actually leads us to step 2, which is why do people trust Brez Scales so much? Brez Scales does zero marketing, has no calls to action, no VSLs, yet he prints 24/7. And reason 1 is because of associations. The exact reason why his brand is so unique. Brez de-associated himself from what people don't trust and associated himself with what people do trust. If we look at Iman Ghazi, for example, Iman Ghazi has built all these associations that people can associate themselves with in order to want to buy from Iman. If we, for example, look at Nike, a lot of NBA stars who film advertisement for Nike are black, which is why so many black people associate themselves with Nike, because they associate themselves with the NBA players who make advertisements for Nike because they are in love with basketball. So how does Iman Ghazi use this? If you actually look at Iman, he has all these associations, like for example, retiring your mom, or the watches, or dating, or info and SMMA, but he also has negative associations like course seller, or old money, or scammer. Or old money is not really bad, but it has become bad because it's so overused. But whenever somebody would want to retire their mom, or would want to have watches, or would want to have a great dating experience because they just feel lonely, and a lot of entrepreneurs do, by the way, you may not know that, but in the background, a lot of entrepreneurs are very lonely. Or if somebody wanted to start SMMA or get into info, they would associate Iman with retiring your mom, or with watches, or with dating, and that is the reason why they buy his course. Because they think Iman Ghazi has watches, retired his mom, and has a great dating life, and done all of that with SMMA. If I want to have one of those 4 things, or even all of those 4 things, I would want to buy from Iman. Now, the thing is that a lot of people also associate him with course seller, old money, or scammer, which is why they don't buy from him anymore, because he just built a very bad reputation, unfortunately. Although I've bought multiple courses of Iman and I've had great experiences, but what do I know? If we look at Brez Scales, he basically avoided all these associations. He never does any marketing, never any call to actions, never any VSLs, which is why nobody associates him with a course seller or a scammer. A lot of people don't even know that he's selling courses. So his associations are actually all positive. He's new money, the exact opposite of Iman, the exact opposite of everybody else trying to copy Iman. So he stands out. He has new money clothing as well. He associates himself with cars as well because people want to have cars. Then we have crashing cars and not caring as well. Brain rot slang. Whenever he talks like this Miami kid that he is, or he's not from Miami, but his brain rot slang, he builds this association of just a brain rot kid not giving a fuck and just not caring about anything, but still making a fuck ton of money. And also he associates himself with freelance brand scaling and also taking risks. So he has this risky new money lifestyle of just crashing his cars, not giving a fuck and just making more money. And that is exactly what people associate with Brez Scales. So whenever somebody wants to have cars, or wants the new money clothing, or wants to have new money lifestyle, or wants to take more risks, or just wants to not give a fuck because he gives too many fucks, or wants to start freelance brand scaling, he will associate Brez Scales with any of these things that they want and then buy from him. That is a brand by definition. A brand is a collection of association. Nike is associated with NBA, Nike is associated with Just Do It, Nike is associated with success, with sports, with athletes. So whenever somebody wants to just do it, get into the NBA, play basketball, or be an athlete, he will buy from Nike. Or if somebody wants to buy a car, he will buy from Brez Scales. Now he achieves all of that and then makes most of his sales through seamless marketing. And seamless marketing is what I want to break down right now. Seamless marketing is actually quite simple. It's the strategy that Iman uses ever since he started in online business, personal branding. You see, he mentions freelance brand scaling in his vlogs, but he doesn't sell it. He doesn't tell people to click on a link in the description or buy this or buy that or do anything. He just mentions it all the time. He just tells people all the time, hey, like freelance brand scaling is the reason why my life changed. And he mentions that on his Instagram reels or in his YouTube videos. And in his YouTube videos, he funnels people either to his second channel, which we'll come to in just a moment, or he funnels them into a landing page, or in this case, his YouTube event. But usually he funnels them to a landing page. Now he uses YouTube and his Instagram stories like the link in the description, in order to funnel people to his second channel, which is Brez. Brez is the place where he sells people on his new opportunity, which is freelance brand scaling, and then also pre-handles all his objections. Because what he does is he basically gets all people into a landing page or a YouTube event. A YouTube event is, I'm going to break it down in just a moment, and then gets them onto sales calls. So it's a simple book a call funnel. But the reason why he makes so much money is not because he has this huge, his complicated funnel. It's quite simple. But the reason why he makes so many sales is because he builds trust before they ever get on a landing page, or before they even book a call or even consider booking a call. Because whenever people don't make a sale or do make a sale, he collects data. Why did people buy, or why did people not buy? And once he finds this out, he knows the main objections why people didn't buy, or he knows the main reasons why people do buy. So when he knows everybody bought my coaching because they liked a certain aspect of my opportunity of freelance brand scaling, like for example, needing no upfront cost, he will mention that multiple times in all of his videos on his channel, Brez. Or when he finds out that everybody just doesn't buy because they doubt that it's possible, because they have a lack of time, then he will basically pre-handle that objection of lacking a lot of time in his YouTube videos and tell people, hey, you don't actually need so much time for this product. So he warms them up before they ever get on a sales call. It's basically a self-fulfilling cycle, which just warms up people more and more and more and more and more, and just makes more sales over time. Now, once he did all of this and built so much trust so that people are basically pre-sold, how does he funnel people? It's actually quite funny because it's the most simple way ever. He literally uses his Instagram bio, his Instagram stories, his Instagram highlights, his YouTube description and his YouTube bio, and also his Brez channel to do one thing. Get them on a landing page, book a call, and make a sale. That's it. It's that simple. It's not that complicated, and people overcomplicate things nowadays. But that's it. And that's because his brand is really good, and because he pre-handles all objections, and because his opportunity is also very well presented. He does all the marketing and all the warming up and all the trust building before people ever get on a call. And the second way is a bit more complicated, but he is about to launch that in just a few days. It's the 11th of September right now. So he's going to do that in a couple of days. The exact same thing. Instagram bio, stories, highlights, yada, 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 plus this time calls to action, because he's not selling something. He's basically just signing them up to a free event. He gets them to a sign up page where he gets people to claim their free spot. And once they claim that free spot, people actually sign up to watching a cinematic YouTube SL. I'll explain in a moment what a YouTube SL is. Now, when they go to the sign up page, they type in their phone number, their email, and they basically put the event into their calendar. What that means is that they get into a WhatsApp group chat and they get into his email list, and they basically get these calendar reminders of a YouTube event. And that are all ways to remind them and warm them up over email and over the WhatsApp group in order to get them to watch the YouTube SL. A YouTube SL is a YouTube sales letter. A YouTube sales letter is basically a VSL that is made in order to go viral on YouTube. It has a very different structure. It basically moves under people's radars. Again, selling to people without them even realizing. I call this people hate being sold to, but they love to go shopping. If people feel like they're actually making the decision on their own by just making the opportunity so intriguing, without them actually telling to take action on their own, they will do it by themselves. And the conversion rate will be way higher, whether it's landing page to call or call to close, because they feel like, I made the decision to come here. I made the decision that I want to buy this stuff. Nobody forced me to make this decision, which is why they buy. And that is what he does here as well. It's moving under their radar. They just want to watch a cool YouTube SL that again pre-handles all their objections and sells them on the opportunity for the first 2 YouTube SLs. And once he's done with the 2 YouTube SLs, which again doesn't sell them anything, but just tells them, hey, actually there's a free product that you can sign up to in order to sign up to my email list, or in order to sign up to my WhatsApp, or you can get into my WhatsApp group in order to get a free product. He gets them into the email list and into the WhatsApp group again. And once he does that, he basically signs them up in order to funnel them to the third event. The third YouTube SL is basically the VSL where you actually sell something. So people need to go through all these hours of content to be so warmed up and then actually buy something. So he's selling behind closed doors. If people weren't interested in his opportunity in the first 2 videos, they aren't going to watch the third one, which is why this is so effective. He doesn't lose his reputation, yet he sells to the most qualified, most warmed up audience ever. And then after the YouTube SL, they either buy immediately or he uses WhatsApp or email in order to funnel them into his book a call funnel or into a landing page immediately. Now, what's so cool about this is that once he has this YouTube event strategy done, it actually doesn't stop there because he still has all the WhatsApp numbers and all the emails. So whenever he thinks, hey, I'm going to launch another event, he still has all the WhatsApp numbers and all the emails from before. That is why Iman is actually able to sustain his own brand for so long. The leads never left. He always kept them and he used them over and over and over and over and over again, which is why his events make more and more and more money over the years, because the people who have been warmed up the last 3 to 4 events are now still watching the 5th event and are completely warmed up and now want to buy. So it's much easier to sell to them now. So he never actually loses the warmed up leads who didn't decide to buy because they didn't have enough money. But once they do have enough money, maybe 1 year down the line or 2 years down the line, he launches another event and people buy then and there instead of today. Now here's the thing, the YouTube SLs are actually incredibly effective. We've used it on our own and we've been able to win the school games and make $78,000 a month just for a low ticket program. And one of my clients actually scaled to 100K a month plus in profit just because of these YouTube SLs that we launch every single time. Now, by the way, I'm going to break down these cinematic YouTube SLs in just a moment. I didn't record a video for that yet, but if you want to see it, you can subscribe to the channel and it should be uploaded in like 3 to 4 days or something. Anyways, all of this sits on one foundation that I want to mention to you again and again and again and again. Brez Scales has a completely unique brand, a brand that is in demand but that hasn't been met before. If you lack to do that, you're not going to succeed. No matter how well your funnels are, no matter how high quality your vlogs are, no matter how this and that. So Brez himself is a personality that was in demand. He just takes every single risks that he wants and he doesn't give a fuck at all. He crashed his car and he doesn't give a fuck. He has new money and he's interested in new money. And that's because he has his own personality. You need to have your own personality if you want to scale like Brez. Business is more than just sitting in front of your computer and just grinding your life away. And that's probably the biggest lesson you should take away from this. I made the most money by making the best experiences. And everybody who ever created content in his life knows that most of the content that went viral is because he had any life experience that he just shared online. So keep that in mind whenever you want to copy this stuff. Anyways, if you want to learn anything from the stuff that I just taught you, I'm not going to sell you a course or anything, but I actually have a book that I bought. And that book is the exact reason why I know all the stuff that I know. And it's a book by Russell Brunson. I've read it multiple times and I've broken it down completely from top to bottom in a couple of minutes. So if you want to know the book that contains all the knowledge behind the entire funnel that I just broke down, I'm going to link the video up here and you can just watch it. Anyways, I want to thank you for your time and I'm glad that I could help you today. Bye-bye.